Good morning, everybody, or evening, actually. It's evening here on the in Arizona and on the West Coast. It's morning, early morning in New York. So good morning if you're on the East Coast. Late good evening if you're on the West Coast. Just wanted to go through a couple of real stupid things that I did today, and I'll kind of show you on the charts here. Let me do this. All right. In this particular chart, I've got emoji zone. I have emoji trading indicators, which are pretty reliable. I really like them. They're pretty reliable in combinations with some other things. You'll notice here there's market depth historical graph, which basically tells me where people are piling in orders. And usually when I see a bunch of orders like that, usually what that means is that they're trying to, when they come on a chart, they're trying to pull price down to them, but not penetrate them. Okay, so and you can see on the trading dome there was like what 300, 500, 523, 457, that sort of thing right there. So I will play. What you'll see is you see this blue zone right here. This is basically a support zone. This is where you would go long. This is a support zone. The previous support zone was right down here where that X is, which is basically a price rejector. So that was down at 28.56, and the last one was at the one on the chart was down at 28.53. So we rejected at some point here. We just rejected right here, but I didn't have any order flow, and that was at 10 o'clock. I didn't have any huge resting orders down there. So I didn't know if we were going to go down and revisit this area, but when I see those come on, you know what that tells? You know what that should have told me? It says don't go short, dummy. So I figured, I'll just go to the next bar. This is a 5-tick reversal. I'm going to go to the next bar. You'll see this guy is a delta snapshot indicator. It's also an emoji zone or an emoji thing, emoji trading, which is emojitrading.com. They've got some pretty reasonable indicators over there for trading order flow. They've got some awesome, excellent training videos on how to show you how to use order flow, how to show you use effectively. And I think one of the most important videos that they have is how to pass the Top Step Trader Combine. Now, the Top Step Trader Combine is a real tough thing to do. You don't want to, you're limited in your losses per day. Nobody's going to let you lose $1,000 in a day trading their money. And you have to be profitable. You have to make, what is it, $2,000 in a week or something, or a week or 2 weeks, or whatever it is. Anyway, just trading support and resistance zones, you can certainly do that. So here I am. I've got a support zone. Back to the charts. I've got a support zone right here, which is right around 58.25, 58.50. I could have gone long right there off that. My exit would have been up here, which is right around 65, between 65 and 66.50, which are actually there was the extension of that zone was like 67. So I would come down here, and that's an almost $500 move right there, right off the bat. So here's what I did. You'll notice the delta snapshot down here. You'll notice this guy, this arrow, that arrow, that arrow, in conjunction with this guy, basically says we're going back down. That is a divergence indicator, delta divergence arrow, which says we're diverging. So we're coming down. They're pushing price up here, but our deltas are coming down, which means they're pushing it up. They don't see any interest. I've got a selling imbalance right there, and then we just kind of came down from there. They pushed it up, one ticked all the people that had their stops up here, just to grab their stops. They one ticked here, and then they went back down. A safe entry would have been, for example, right there. If you want to take the safe entry, there's a selling imbalance right there with like a 3-tick stop loss. But it's not going down very far. It's going down here. I would not have taken the short down there, or I shouldn't have. Not that I took it there, but anyway, we'll get to that. So this is your support zone. So don't short. I would not short into this area, especially down here. Take the long move. We've got support here, which they haven't come back to in a while. They got support here. They just formed that support zone. Well, it was formed below or before, but you get my drift. It's basically price is not pushing down, price is pushing up. So trend-wise, we are not in a short condition. We're in a long. I believe I'm not sure what bonds did or what the curve did or anything like that. I was not listening to one of the instructors. I've got like 3 guys in my ear when I trade, and I'm listening for clues as well as watching the charts, and that's probably not a good idea. Anyway, so I got divergence here. So I'm coming down. I got divergence. I got all these resting orders down here that are just kind of sitting down there. I guess maybe they got filled here, and then they pulled it down to 2058. So pretty confident that a long in here would do the trick back up to here. So we got our next zone. We've got our divergence. And then we have this nice big bar right up there. So anywhere here, anywhere in this range, the pullback to the top of that range would have gotten you an entry there with a 1-tick stop loss. You could have put your stop loss down here. You could work with relatively tight stop losses here. So coming down here, you had a buy. You had a buy signal here. What I didn't see was this divergence down here. Divergence says basically no more shorts. So longs only. So here's my long. Here's my delta bar right here. There's my up candle right here, which kind of matches that delta bar. We've got a lot of, on the other hand, I looked at that and I'm saying, we got a lot of volume going up there. The last time I saw a bar like that was like that, right? So are we really pushing up, or are we getting absorbed? Well, I'm starting to look at the stuff up here. I did have another indicator on that was basically telling me we were gonna come back down. So that bar's finished. It looks like we're getting some absorption at that part at the top of that bar. I mean, we've got 2, 3. Almost 4,000 orders trying to push this thing up, and then it pulls back. So, and there's today's high. It looks like we were going to retest today's high and come back down. So, me and my brilliance goes, oh, we're going to come back down. We're going to come back down here. Okay. So I got this, what looked like rejection. I ignored that. I guess I didn't see it. Pushed up, filled that unfinished business right there, which was back over here somewhere. It had not been filled until right there. There's unfinished business right there. I saw that 164 and I went short. Well, if you're going to scalp that, that's not a bad idea. But there wasn't a whole lot of indication we were going to come back down here. I've got one of the emoji indicators told me, hey, we're going long there. We got that delta bar there. We're going up, right? So what does Mr. Stupid do? Mr. Stupid goes short right there. I should have gone in for like 4 ticks, 3 or 4 ticks, just to grab a little bit of cash there. But I didn't. It's a counter trend move. It was stupid, and I did it anyway. So I paid for it. I got stopped out. $50, 4-tick stop loss, right? Well, now here we get a price rejection up here, okay? We get one of these guys. We say, oh, well, yeah, maybe we're gonna go back down short. Maybe we're gonna go back down here. Again, anybody that's shorting up here is looking for pennies coming down, because the main trend, we're definitely going up. Consolidation right here. We had an up move. We definitely bottomed out down here. We had an up move. We had a little bit of a pullback down to this zone here, which is still there, by the way. Let me refresh this. Let me just recalculate the chart so you can see that. So we've got that zone up here. We also have all these orders at 28.65. So pretty much the only move is down. So you're looking at support there, resistance there. So what do? Come down. I think that was the place that I took the. I have to look back at the chart, but I believe that's the place where I took that short 28.62, 63 area, because I saw some overhead resistance, and this is what I guess this is what I was seeing, and I saw today's high. I figured they were going to retest it and then come back down, but that guy right there told a different story. That guy says, hey, you know what, we're going up. We've got this zone here, which, look at all these buyers. Look at all those buyers up there. Look at all those buyers up there, and then there's not a whole lot of sellers here. So we've got support there. We've got a developing support zone right here. Why do I want to short into that? Because I'm stupid. Anyway, so you can't watch everything, and I'm trying to eliminate a bunch of crap on my charts. Here was the chart I was trading off of. Sorry, that's no. That's the chart I was trading off of. Oh my God, you're gonna go blind looking at that thing. All that garbage in there. So I wanted to simplify. So I'm just kind of going back to basics and looking at these support resistance zones right here. So I traded here, went short, and bam, just got I got stopped out up here. I think it was right there that I got stopped out. And look at that, 723 buyers or whatever it was. I mean, there was there's 2109. There's lots of buyers coming in, even though it's a down candle, there's no delta to it. Lots of buyers. Here's another one. Delta, small delta, small delta, small delta, but we're going up, right? This support zone, all of a sudden, that thing changes into resistance, as you can see right there. So we're having a support zone, a new support zone being built here. Support, support, support. Why would I trade into support? Because, oh well. Anyway, so my target, instead of going long here and having my target up, say for example, somewhere here, the S&P usually moves in like 10-point increments. So I would have had 28.58 to say 28.68 right up in here. This guy came on, which basically they're starting to form new ceilings under the market. Once they broke that guy with 1,000 orders, they just powered right through it. They came up to this zone here. They powered right through that. You can see 1,000 orders, 952, 920, 814, 897, 1188. So there's not a whole lot. See the sellers there? There's no sellers there. There was the first serious challenge to the sellers, right there, and they just, I think they pulled back a little bit there. But they were relying on that buying imbalance right there. So I look at diagonals for buying and selling imbalances, but look across at your chart, okay? At a horizontal view, what are we looking at? We're looking at, more buyers and sellers here, 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 buyers. Right there, they had more sellers. They tried to push it down. They couldn't. Buyers, more buyers. So all these buyers are coming in here, and there's just basically they're trying to challenge them, but the buyers are just overwhelming them. So the only direction we're gonna, that I can see, just from looking at that horizontal buy and sell at those particular price points, is up. So what do? So I'm already stopped out. I accidentally got stopped out here. I had a short, and when I was grabbing it, when I grabbed it, it was up in this area here, because this was my 2065, 2066. I think I had a 6675. No, I'm sorry. I had one down here, and I believe it was right below 2065. I think it was. I have to go back and look at the real-time chart. But anyway, so I had a short there. I'm trying to move my short way the heck out of the way. Instead of canceling the order like a doofus, I tried to move it. So I clicked on it like down here, and as I'm dragging the order up, the order's still here. It hasn't been modified yet. The market comes up, fills me, immediately and then runs up and takes me out. 4 more ticks. So I had an 8 tick stop loss starting off my day. It was just, when you have 2 stop losses in a day, even if they're small stop losses, you've got 2 stop losses in a day. You gotta rethink your position. So anyway, I walked away for a while with a clear head and came back and looked at this. But by that time, we're getting at 11 o'clock. We're getting into lunchtime and everything's just trying to slow down. So anyway, looking at support zones, looking at resistance zones, we blew through this resistance zone here. Actually, we didn't blow through it. You can see where these resting orders were here. As soon as they pulled those resting orders right there, you can see on that bar they pull those resting orders. Either they pulled them or they blew through them. I think they pulled through them, or I think they pulled them because there were only 370 bought at that level. But I know there was like 600 sitting there, so they probably pulled a bunch of orders, and price just powered right through it. Except right there, you've got more sellers than buyers, but the buyers just pushed it up. You can see, let's see, started, I think it was right there, more buyers, and let me get rid of that thing there so I could see it. Yeah, see, more buyers, more buyers, more buyers, more buyers, more buyers up here. We had a little bit of absorption right here. I don't think it lasted too long. It's just sitting there kind of like a bird on wire. There's the high, 28.68. So you got absorbed up here, pull back a little bit, but still came back up here and one ticked it, and then powered right through it. Okay, there's another absorption, but I don't have another resistance zone up here. 28.69. See, they move those orders. See where they move those orders out of there? They pulled them, then they moved them back up here. They're reestablishing themselves up here, and they basically they're starting to tap on this area right here. A lot of people are thinking, yeah, we're starting to look for a long here, or sorry, starting to look for a short here. The long indicator came in, but we had 663 orders right there, buys. We had a bunch of buys in here, 8, 6, 12. We had like 2,000 orders pushing it up, and it wasn't able to make it. So those were absorbed right up here. You can see that on that guy. They're basically saying, you're not going here. We're going to see if we can push you down. At that point, they powered through it a little bit. They powered right through that level. 976 buyers right there. They just powered right through that sucker. So it was long all the way up into this area, up into I believe it was up into this area, 70, 71. And everybody's like, oh, to the moon, Alice, to the moon, Alice. We're gonna go. We're gonna go. We're gonna go. And what happened? We just kind of fiddled around, and it's right before 11 o'clock. We came, and then they came off that level. Then they started selling. I would look at support down here. If I had taken the short, there were no indications for me to take the short up there, so I would be looking basically for another long, unless the market's gonna change my mind. That green bar there is signifying we're starting to get a little bit of support in the market, or supply. But here's that bar, and here's that bar down here, and we just fiddle around. You could have taken the short. There, held that short until you get into this area here, and then gotten out. That would have been from 70 to 63, 62. 7 points. That's not bad. And you can see it just fiddling around. Here's another sell. They're trying to cap the market there, and they just screw around with it. And there we go. Okay, you would probably finally just get out of your short right there, even though it's a short. There was that support zone. You just I would have just gotten out of that short and waited for another opportunity. Let's see, 11:45. They shorted. Nice little short down here. We ran right into this area right here, and you can see all these guys coming in here trying to cap the market. So to me, I would go long right there, long right, and this is basically saying this is a fence. It says you're not going to cross it. So going long there would probably be a pretty safe bet. And here we go, back upside. They tried to signal the market maker, I guess, to try to hold it down here, and they shorted it for a little bit, but they didn't go very far. They didn't come back down. They didn't come back down here. And so now we've got, we've got that resistance zone, that other resistance zone that was sitting there. We powered through it before. There's no reason why we wouldn't power through it again, but it is acting as a resistance zone. So, and it's lunchtime, it's afternoon, so people, people still like to trade during that. So, okay, we break it, pull back a little bit, and then here's some more orders here that said, here's a line in the sand, more lines in the sand. And here we go. We're going up, we're going up. We got a price rejection at 68.50. But remember, our today's high is up here, and we see all these orders. See all these orders up here basically saying, here's the new line in the sand. So if you got in long here, and see here's your lower boundary, here's your upper boundary. If you got in long down here, which was what, down in this zone, down in this area here, where you would, or up here where they penetrated, those are the buyers you would have bought down here at 60.25. Okay, we're looking at a target of like 69.70, 69.75, right up in here. So that's another $500 move. Let's see, and we hit it. We top ticket right there. Now, this is a very interesting bar. This is at 2:30. Okay, 2:30 Eastern. You've got, look at all the massive volume coming in here. Massive buyers. Buyers. My God, they've got 1,600 orders there, 2,100 orders there, and what do? Nothing. They go one tick. Are you joking? So get out of your long, take a short position, 28.70 right in here. Very safe position. You think they're gonna, if they can stop 2,108 orders, do you think they're gonna stop somebody that's buying? I don't think so. That's almost what? That's over 4,000 orders between 2,108 and 3 ticks. In 4 ticks, the market threw 5,000 lots at that to try to break it, and it didn't do it. Did not do it. So the only place we can go, see, they try, and then they try to retest it, but you could have gotten into that short right there on that candle, at that price level, or at that price level with like a 4 tick stop. Again, very $50 risk. And what do? See, they try it again. They're trying again. They're trying to bust that level. So they have thrown like what, 10,000 lots at this thing, buying 10,000 lots, and they're just getting absorbed. I mean, somebody does not want them to push through there. So what do? Bam, reverse off that level. They knocked on the door, very heavy pounding on the door. Not a lot of delta. Not a lot of delta there to the upside. So what do? Sell off. Boom, sell off. So that was a nice little sell off move. And we're looking at 2070, say 2860s or something like that. Either that or the end of the market. They pushed it up one more time. See, and this was a lot. Some of this was, the third time knocking on the door here. Also, they were trying to run stops as people were coming down. They're using like trailing stops, and they were just trying to they were trying to hit those trailing stops. Now that guy came on. We've got a new floor for the market. So that's 68, 64. So if you've got it up here 70, you've had a target here. You could have gotten out right there, or just from 70 to 70 to 65. Shorted it there, held your short, come down here, right in this area, got out of your short, You could have waited until the market came back up here to retest that, but see, that 828 resting orders there is saying, we're not going up there. So now, and these orders came on, which basically said, oh, here's a real tempting target. Come on down here. Come on down here, market. So you could have, you shorted it, and what happened? Bam, right down to that level. And you're basically out for the day. Or I would have been. I mean, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna trade in the cash market open. You see, there's a lot of orders down here that's starting to turn on. You're getting a lot of buying and selling here, a lot of resting orders up and down, and the reason why is, well, the cash market closed, and people are, trying to get out of their positions or reestablish new ones for Globex. So, and then, you came down into this area and wicked, but you can see all these resting orders, huge blocks of resting orders down here, end of the day, and then cash market. We see cash market close. You would have been out of your long. You would have been out of your short position from here. Come down. You gotten out. There was some unfinished. There's unfinished business there. Right there, you could have said, you know what, I'm gonna, maybe they'll shoot for that. So at 1602, we go up, we fiddle around, and then we come back down. They're trying to hit that. See, here's the sell signal. They're trying to hit that unfinished business area right there, and they do. Bam, right there. And that was after the market closed. So they were holding. They were holding over. People were holding over. So, but anyway, that was the end of the cash market. So if you'd gone long here, you would have gone maybe 3 points up and been done. Anyway, I hope that helped. And just to show my mistake. Oh, there you go, delta. See the delta coming on here. You got prices pushing up, but there's no volume behind it. So of course we're going to come down. So there we go. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it exhibited how stupid I was this morning, and hopefully I won't make the same mistake tomorrow. So have an absolutely, there you go, there was the support zone. Anyway, have an absolutely wonderful evening, and we will hopefully see you tomorrow.